Today we're discussing 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. Hello.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us. Okay, we have one more person, so we'll just let them join in when they get on. Hi, how are you? Happy summer.
And you
To
have,
all the teachers on here.
yes.
I'm driving home right now, but I am here, and those are my tomato plants in the background.
That is
I
very
love it.
cool. Well, drive carefully. That kind of scares me that you're driving.
No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'm gonna look at the road, but I'm here. I'm so excited.
Okay. Um, well, we can st I'm gonna start by, hi Rhonda, welcome.
Hello.
We missed you.
I know. Finally there's one I'm in.
Yes. I'm not going to do introductions today because I think everyone has met already before. So my first question, how do you feel or what do you think about the book being the most banned book in the US? So we'll start with that before we get into the actual plot.
So I
I,
thought that the book was the most banned book because of the fact that it's a school shooting, but I saw a video where she talks about it's the most banned book because of the word erection. And I was like, really? That's what they got from this book?
I'm missing the
Okay.
whole plot.
Yeah, like the whole thing.
I mean, I
yeah,
know
I,
she's been banned and I mean, she's a controversial writer in terms of she writes about, topics that are, today, whether it's, somebody's sexuality or, a horrific event. But I mean, I don't think any author should be censored whatsoever or banned. If you don't want to read the book, don't read it.
I agree.
Exactly.
No.
I
Hmm.
agree.
100%.
And
yep.
like I thought it was also about the school shootings, but there's been other books about school shootings. Like a lot of you were around when we read The Luckiest Girl Alive,
Girl
that's
alive.
now
Yeah.
book, and that was loosely based on a school shooting as well.
Yeah.
And this didn't really, I was afraid to start reading it. I honestly started like this week because I didn't want to read gory details about a school shooting. Like reading about the shooting had me a little nervous. And I feel like most of it wasn't about the actual, I mean, it was about the shooting, but I was expecting it, I think, to be more graphic and detailing that scene since that's what the book was about. Like it was
I,
not, I
I
feel
was
like
nervous about reading it too.
I feel like it wasn't any more graphic than what we see on the news or read of
Hmm.
actual school shootings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like the other one we read was more detailed and more gory and graphic. Yeah. This was more about their interactions, their friendships, and things like
Yeah,
that
like
and how
the
it led
before and
to,
after. Yeah, like
Mhm.
the
yeah.
bullying, more of the
And
bullying, right?
yeah, and a lot of court. Like I liked all the
I like the
Yeah,
cool
court
stuff. Yeah.
me
proceedings
too.
and
Mhm.
anything that has to do with like court things. I
Yeah,
love.
me too.
How did you guys like the dual timeline?
I am.
I liked it. I like how it all like came together at the end. I love dual timelines like that.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it helps like keep my interest more because like
Hmm.
I'm just like waiting. I'm like waiting. I'm like, okay, what's coming next? Like
Yeah.
going back to the present. Okay, so like it's that anticipation that really kept me motivated, like as I was reading it. Because like I love her writing, but sometimes I feel like it's a little drawn out.
Yes.
Like get me there just a little bit quicker.
Hmm.
But the timeline like helped with that.
I was thinking about that, Kristen, because I know we had messaged on Instagram about it a little bit, and I was agreeing with you because I like the dual timeline, but I feel like a lot of the past could have been like condensed a little
Yeah.
bit. Like
Yes.
especially like the childhood chapters could have been like one chapter, like giving us
Agreed.
flashbacks or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was
Agreed.
like, let's get to the court date already. And then it gets to the court date, and I feel like it just went so fast.
It went back. Yeah, I feel like so I kind of guess because I knew that I know that she always has like this plot twist. So I was waiting for it and I was like, okay, I kind of knew what it was at one point, like especially when they found like this other fingerprint on the gun. I was like, oh, it was Josie. So when it came, I was like, it happened so fast and then it was over.
Yeah. I
I
And
wanted
mean,
then
it was like barely a mention. I mean,
yeah,
kind of thing. It
it's
was
like, oh,
like,
she confessed and that's it. Like, what?
I
but
had
I
to go
think that,
back and reread it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, because it was very short, even when the conviction and what she, her that she was going to be what her sentence was. It was, I
Uh-huh.
mean, it was really just a minor, I mean, couple sentences, and then it was like, okay, we're done.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked
Same.
less of like the childhood
Childhood
and then
and more.
more of like her trial.
Mm-hmm.
Like add her
Yes.
trial in at least like
Yeah.
2 chapters or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, or her mindset of like why she pointed it at Matt,
Yeah, like I
like
wanted a
just
little
at
bit
least her
more.
insight. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was just like him kind of berating her again, like the boyfriend berating her again. But like, yeah, I would have wanted to know more about what was going on in her head when she decided to shoot her boyfriend instead.
Well, that was one of my questions. So I'll skip ahead and then I guess we'll go backwards from there since we're already on it. Okay, so I had put Josie admits she often witnessed Matt's cruelty towards other students. Why then does it come as a surprise to Josie when Matt abuses her verbally? How much did you emphasize with Josie?
I mean, I didn't empathize as much with her as, with the kid that did the shooting. I mean, he was just, I mean, I felt so much sorrow for him and the bullying that he did. I mean, from, when he started school at 5 years old all the way to the end. I mean, it's horrible, obviously, what he did, and certainly don't condone that at all. But I could honestly see how he did it.
Yeah.
I really liked the defense. I really thought,
Yeah.
I guess I was naively, I don't know if optimistic is the word, but I really thought that defense was going to work. It makes sense to me. Like, again, not to condone what he did, but it, why not? Why wouldn't that defense work? It makes the
Well, I
same.
feel like
Yes.
the defense would have worked if he just would not have opened his mouth on that stand. Like when he said those final words to his, like when he was being examined or questioned on the stand, I was like, oh, he just condemned himself.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that the game's
Like,
not over yet.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
I think Josie wanted to be so popular
Mhm.
that she accepted, Michelle, back to your question,
Yeah.
that she accepted his abuse of herself, because she didn't want to go back to being unpopular or, ostracized by the group because they were so strong. And she didn't want to go hang back out with Peter. So
Mhm.
she accepted it. And I think, when she builds up, builds up, builds up. And I think that that's when she had the opportunity and the gun, she's just like, I mean, I don't know that certainly hers wasn't premeditated. It was just a reactionary
Yeah.
thing. Oh, I got this gun and, this guy's really a jerk and just did it. I don't know that there was any thought to it, but I think that she stayed because she didn't want to go back to being, the unpopular group and because
Mhm.
she had you know a lot of anxiety about it and the author talks a lot about her anxiety and even through her relationship with her mother it kind of all comes out, so it's like um I mean, I don't blame her for shooting him, you know at all. um but I think she just kind of, I mean, I think it goes back to the battered woman,
Yeah.
defense kind of thing that it just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
she
also
says
think
it at one
it was,
point that she
yeah, go
says
ahead.
she didn't want to be treated like Peter was treated. She said it like at one point.
Hmm.
I also feel like her life with Matt was a fake life, that she was always scared of being like, of people finding out that she didn't really love him or she didn't really want to be with him or that's not who she really is, as opposed to her friendship with, what's the
Peter.
shooter's name?
Peter.
Peter.
Peter. That, it was since childhood. They worked together. It was a real friendship, even though she was embarrassed about it. I think that's who she really was, a good person trying to be good. So I think that's why she decided to shoot Matt instead of Peter.
I think I saw Matt as more than just like verbally abusive because there was like one scene where they were hooking up and they had like finished and he forced like a second time
Like
and
he
she
grabbed
seemed,
her, right?
yeah, and I was like, oh, this is a rape scene, but then she kind of gave into it. So I think she had like a lot of
Yeah,
distrust
the abuse.
of an
Yeah.
abuse of him. But then I also thought she was already in the popular group. She was already friends with the girls. Like, would leaving him would that have knocked her down that bad? Like, didn't she have the girls to fall back on?
Um,
Did she need the guy?
I don't think she had the girls' friendship at all.
No?
I mean, I think it was just a loose like association of people who were just too scared to be other.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the way that Courtney like sent that message to
Yeah.
who was it, Drew? Like,
Hmm.
they were always looking for ways to like drag the other ones down, and
Yeah.
that is not like true friendship. But
No.
also,
Yeah.
Matt, like he pushed her down on the ice, and like, what did she break her ankle or
Yeah.
something? She was in a
She had
cast. I
something
mean,
broken. She was in a
That's
cast.
right.
Hmm.
I wasn't very sad when he died. Okay.
Yeah. And then there was the part where Peter did like that project in class and like he singled out Josie and she thought like right there she was gonna go back to like not being popular. And so
Yeah.
that was right when he like told her that when Matt told her that he liked her and then that they became a couple. So it's kind of like she associated him kind of saving her in that moment. And then like knowing that probably without him that she would be like relegated down to like not being popular anymore.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that she shot Matt? And why do you think she shot Matt instead of Peter?
I wasn't surprised because, like I said, I figured out the plot twist a little bit early on. I was like, it had to be her. Um, so when she confessed, I was surprised that she confessed. I thought that she was gonna just pretend that she didn't do it, or like pretend that she didn't remember.
Remember.
Um, but yeah, I was surprised that she confessed, and I think she did it because, um, I don't know. I think she saw Peter with a gun and she saw like she was listening to him like Matt berate her and like call her stupid and like she probably just had a flash of like all the bad things he's done to her and like she's like, well, if we're gonna die anyways, then let me, do this. I don't know.
It was like almost like the battered woman syndrome back to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I kind of thought it was her too, but I thought she was going to be more involved. Like I thought she was going to be a second shooter or
Oh,
helped
okay.
him plan it. Like some crazy twist that like would have been off the wall.
Yeah. I was waiting for more of a twist. Yeah.
I
Like I thought
thought
maybe,
the
uh-oh.
other gun was like jammed of him trying to like shoot himself.
Oh,
Oh,
That's what I thought. I didn't think it was Josie at all. Like I didn't see that coming, which is good when I don't
yeah,
see
yeah,
the
yeah.
twist coming. I
Yeah.
like it when I don't see it.
did you guys think Peter's sentence was fair?
I think so.
Yeah.
I thought the battered woman syndrome that they were trying to put for him for being bullied was going to get him a reduced sentence.
Mhm.
Me too. But I guess whoever said like when he testified, I guess he kind of
Yeah.
sealed his destiny. But I think also what was interesting is when they went into the details of towards the end, the morning of like the 6:15 a.m. one, when you really get down to it, he didn't plan it in the sense of like, yes, he had the guns and he had the bullets, but he didn't necessarily plan this per se. Like he didn't wake up that morning and say, today's the day. It,
No.
I was surprised by that when it got to the morning of. I thought it was going to say, okay, here him detailing the plan out, and it really wasn't.
I feel like he was planning it, but the day that he did it was random because he
Yeah.
had like the bomb ready, he had stolen the guns, like he was planning something,
Mhm.
but
Well,
like I
and
feel
did
like the date wasn't planned.
no, but and didn't with his the video game, it was kind of like all the jocks. I mean, he had really kind of, and I don't know if the characters were t like total avatars, but they really represented each of the people
Yeah.
that, he wanted to take out. And, he passed by a lot of people. I mean, even though what 10 died and 19 injured,
Yeah.
um, I mean, it could have been a whole lot more, but I mean, I felt so sorry for him. I mean, because it was just constant abuse. And I mean, we all know people that have been bullied and, maybe even, ourselves at some point, but it's just like, it was relentless. And, and I thought like about, and I don't know on all the other shootings, the real life shootings, I mean, obviously there's something, traumatic that happened to them, whether it was bullying or some, whatever in their life. But it's like you can really see how people just, I've had enough. I've had enough.
What did you
I
all go ahead.
sorry, I was gonna say because he randomly shot other people that had nothing to do and had never done anything to him, and that maybe were also victims of bullying. So that part I didn't like either. You know, if it
Yeah, like
was
a
like,
disabled child.
yeah, exactly, like the disabled girl.
Was anybody reading this thinking like, what the hell's wrong with all these parents? Like,
Yes.
you
Like
feel like they had
when
like
his mother was like, I need you to fight back. Like if you come home one more time, like and they've done something to you and you haven't done anything, I was like, what kind of advice is that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I kept trying to think like what I would tell, like I don't have kids, but like I kept trying to think of like what I would tell my kid, and I'm like, I don't know.
defend yourself, but not
Yeah.
fight back.
Right.
But
Yeah.
even the school, I mean, when
mhm,
they put the teacher on the stand or whatnot, I mean, it was like if you they um reprimand the other students, they said it's worse for the person that's being bullied. And I mean, I don't see how that is true other than that they would try and find a way, but it's like it seems to me that the school didn't do enough.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
none of
I
the
felt like
adults
that
did
too.
enough.
None of them. Right. And
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, as a parent, I don't know. I kept thinking, what would I do if that was my son? His lunchbox gets thrown out the first day, and constant, but I think they were so wrapped up in the grief of the brother who was like the
exactly.
perfect one that I don't think that they really could see him at all.
But the brother
Yeah,
Like
didn't
even
have
from before, like kindergarten, like why? I don't know. Like I was in third grade when this girl was bullying me, and my mom showed up to the school and like talked to that girl. So I always picture myself like if like my kid's lunchbox got thrown out on the bus on the first day of school, I would get on that bus and be like, "What? Who's doing this? Like you guys aren't doing this again, And like really defend my kid, um,
or
because
talk to the
sometimes
other parent.
or talk to the parent. Yeah, like I feel like sometimes like especially when they're little, maybe they don't know how to defend themselves. Like how could you tell your kid like, "Oh, don't like you're gonna get in trouble if you don't defend yourself." Like maybe they don't know how. Like
yeah.
so you have to set an example too.
A lot
Um
of kids don't go home and tell their parents or are
yeah.
embarrassed that they're getting bullied and they don't say anything, you know?
Well,
So
I
the
felt like
kids
that's what
really have to be aware.
yeah, like that's what was happening to him. Like I feel like he was getting
Yeah.
bullied at school and then he wasn't like communicating about it. So
He
it's like
told
how
And he
do you
didn't communicate well at all,
yeah.
even with the lawyer, even once he got
Mhm.
arrested. Even I think that so much happened that they didn't say that could have been, more of a defense. But
I feel like when he talked to the teachers and they talked to the parents and like other signs that he showed like in his behavior, like why isn't anybody getting this kid like therapy or
Yeah, exactly.
counseling or something? Because yeah, they were concerned about the perfect brother, but he didn't pass away till a year before the shooting. So
Right. Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Well,
So he
his
had
this
like
was
brother, I
already
think,
building.
childhood.
was part of the problem. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah,
he was the jock, he was the popular one. Didn't he at one point when the
he
other
never
kid
even
pushed him into the
defended.
lock, just let him. He
Yeah.
yeah,
didn't.
he would let
Yeah,
him
but
walk.
in the
He didn't
bathroom,
defend
that made
them.
me so upset when he was in the bathroom and then he walked out and it was his brother. That was like
Yeah.
one of the most
Yeah,
upsetting parts of the
that's
whole
sad.
And
book.
also, I feel like that goes back to the parents too, because it's like, shouldn't you set that example for your kids? Like, that's your sibling. Like, you guys have each other's backs. Like, I don't. I just think about like how I grew up and like what my parents told me. Like, if my brother and I were fighting, like that was between us, but he always had my back and I always had his. Like, I just don't. I couldn't relate.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Alex and Lacey's friendship comes to an end when they discover Peter and Josie playing with the gun when they were little. Why does Alex decide it's in Josie's best interest to keep her daughter away from Peter? And what did you think about the moms ending their friendship because of that?
I think, I mean, I think I would have freaked out too, like as a mom, and like all of a sudden your kid has a gun in her hand because another kid put it there. Um, but again, it goes back to communication. Like, why weren't they having a conversation about it? Like, why did their friendship just end? Why didn't they talk about it? Why didn't Lacey talk to her son about it? Like, I feel like a lot could have been like
Yeah,
mitigated with a simple conversation.
was a lot of foreshadowing. I saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But also it didn't end their friendship. I mean, they still stayed friends, just the mom didn't know.
Yeah, but the
But they
But
moms
like
hid
the
it.
and
moms didn't.
The moms didn't,
Yeah.
but the kids did. Even after that, they kept the friendship going. Even
I
though it
mean,
was in secret, but they
Yeah.
still did keep the friend. And Josie did have a soft spot for him at the
mhm.
end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that. I mean, yes, it's terrible and the gun should have been locked and all that, but I don't know that it was, friendship ending,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Definitely deserves some conversation, and the gun needs to be locked, and I maybe don't want my child over at your house with a gun, but he can certainly come to our house, and
Yeah,
that I think that Alex overreacted, but and that may be just the nature of her being a judge and having seen
judge,
a lot of things in court,
of course.
shootings and I mean, I don't know, but I don't think that it was, should have been friendship ending even, as the adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I was like, there's no conversation, and it was a little bit drastic. Like they never
Yeah,
Yeah,
kissed again.
very
right.
like yeah, abrupt.
Like,
I
yeah,
actually
like
thought their relationship, I thought it gave so much beforehand and it didn't give anything after. Like you saw that Alex still did have a soft spot for her when in the
Hmm.
beginning of the trial, then she went into the supply closet and like kind of just like comforted her and brought her a coffee. I think that was her way of kind of saying like I'm still here from you, even though it's been 15 years or whatever it was. But at the same time, I felt like after explaining the whole book, like you said, all the pre stuff and the details, then when Josie was involved, I really thought that there was going to be like an after of, besides how we talked about Josie, like Lacey and Alex. Like, how did that affect their relationship? Or, Alex was there for
Exactly.
Lacey, and now her daughter was involved in this, and we never got back to how their relationship after Josie came out.
yeah.
Exactly.
Let me see. Okay, I think we kind of touched upon this, but Peter was a victim of bullying for 12 years at the hands of certain classmates, many of whom repeatedly tormented him. But he also shot and killed students that he had never met who had never done anything wrong. What empathy, if any, did you have for Peter both before and after the shooting? I kind of
I don't
felt
know about
bad for him for,
empathy.
yeah, I felt bad
No.
for what he went through, but I had zero for the
Yeah,
shooting. Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, you could have done a lot of other things.
Hmm.
But I don't know that he had the support of his parents,
Exactly.
to either through, therapy or, and teenagers at that age, I mean, they just do all sorts of crap. I mean, certainly doesn't justify, the killing, but I mean, I really did feel a lot of empathy for him. No mind's justifying his actions, but it's like I can see how without therapy, without support of his parents, without the support of the teachers, I think he felt I have no choice. I've got to end this. Now, why didn't he kill himself,
Yeah.
and end it? I mean, that's when anybody murders somebody else. I'm like, just kill yourself. Don't take
That's
everyone
what I'm
else out,
saying. Exactly.
Not that we're
but
condoning suicide, but
We are
no,
not.
yeah.
not that
No, but
either.
it's also mental health. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Because I
I feel
think
like
it,
as
I don't know.
teachers, what'd you say?
No, that it was more of like revenge for him. I mean, yes, himself, but he wanted the revenge that he didn't get maybe for the 13 years.
Yeah. And like
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like it's
Now they're
kind of
charging
hard.
like parents for the crimes of the children that are involved in these type of shootings for not being more careful with their guns, being more vigilant about what their kids are doing. The mom is all like, "Oh, I'm gonna give him space. He's a teenager." No, dude, you gotta be
Yeah.
in what your kids are
Yeah.
doing. Like parental controls are there
I've heard
for a reason.
I've
Like
heard
go
parents,
in.
he's he's a teenager. There's just so much I can do. No, there is a lot you can do.
No,
Like
there's a
he is
lot you can
controlling
do.
your actions right now.
Exactly. And I think, it sucks because as a parent, I I feel like sometimes we're busy, right? And we are involved in so many things, but man, that's your number one priority. Like,
Yeah.
make sure your kids are good humans and know right from wrong, like the basics. And it sucks that so many kids are doing things like this.
Did you guys
I think
blame?
there should be like a clear line of what bullying entails to these kids and maybe more in the school system, like some sort of, because I know there is, but kids don't use it, and I don't know if it's so, but some sort of anonymous reporting or some sort of system where it can, every time an incident happens, and log something so that, the teachers through the years are more aware of what's happening, because you come in, you have 25 new students, 25 new personalities, and you don't know what their past has been like.
Yeah.
You only see what you see and what you can catch in glimpses or what other students say. And the kids throw around that bullying word so easily now, like, oh, she's bullying me because she doesn't want to be my friend, or, oh, they didn't, they left me off the group chat. I'm being bullied. Like they don't understand what it actually is. So I feel like it gets, kind of pushed to the side a lot when it's an actual bullying case. Like, you're like, are you really getting bullied? Or are you just a little sensitive? Like,
But that's a good point that teachers get new students and don't know if they've been bullied in the past. Like that's a good idea
exactly.
to have like some kind of record that goes along with them.
Yeah. I feel like there needs to be more education for kids too, just like how to spot it, like if you're just like a bystander, you're not involved in it, like how to try to talk to people who are bullied, how to try to help them, how to maybe stand up for them, or I don't know. There just needs to be more education on mental health too. Like if you're going through something, like what are the steps to get help? And like if you feel like you don't have support, if you feel like your parents aren't listening to you, like just so like a resource for kids.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of touches upon one of my questions. It goes into like the whole involvement of like Lacey and how she was kind of blind to what was happening. She wouldn't go into his room and things. Do you agree or disagree with the idea that it's the parents' job to teach the kids the necessary skills to defend themselves? I think so.
I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
Like your parent is your first like source of support.
They're the ones who teach you pretty much everything until you get to school and then you have teachers, but your parents teach you how to even like present yourself in school when you get there. Like you learn so much just from, like not even like um what they tell you to do. The kids learn by watching you. So like any little thing that you do, they're gonna copy you because that's what you're teaching them. That's what they're learning by just observing you.
And I think now, like with social media, so many of kids are getting like educated by social media and like influencers and stuff that people are like, oh, they're just on TikTok, but they're not always just watching like makeup videos. Like you
Mhm.
should be more aware of who is talking to them and what they're saying.
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like he was talking to people in the games. Like who
Mhm.
knows if he was encouraged by those chat rooms.
Mhm.
Sorry. Okay. What did you think of Alex's and Patrick's relationship throughout the trial and at the end?
I thought it was a little weird. It was a little like,
Did
hmm.
anybody like it?
I
I
was
like that she
I was
happy
was
for
ha-
starting
her.
to get
I
like
was
out
happy for
there.
her that she wasn't
Yeah,
alone. Yeah, she's putting
yeah,
herself out there, and I thought it was good. And how Josie accepted it, like that one day, he's like, "There's pancakes enough for
yeah,
him,"
yeah,
So that was cute.
I like the way they handled it, but I was like, do we need a love story in this
yeah.
movie? Like,
Yeah,
that kind of like,
That's what I felt
But
too.
I
But
think
I was
though,
happy that she found somebody because she was
yeah.
alone.
But
yeah,
I
I
just
think
like it weirded me out reading about like death and then like a love story.
Yes, yes, yeah.
but
Hmm.
I think it really tried to humanize her. And
Yeah.
honestly, it improved her relationship with Josie because he, as being the detective, was able to comfort her. And especially since, he liked the mother, it was kind of a dual purpose. That he was, Josie felt comfortable, having him talking to him about what was happening, and I'm not sure that she would have ever really admitted it if it wasn't for him.
it's true. And even Alex was an absent parent. She was so busy, she didn't know all the struggles that Josie was going through, her mental health issues, her struggles, popularity, and and all those things. So even as somebody
Yeah.
that sees it every day,
And I think
and that
because she was as a single mother, and then she's so, I mean, the judge is such a prestigious position, and she really poured her, soul into that,
yeah,
into her career. And and I think Josie did suffer for that.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, she was more, I mean, she didn't really know who she wanted to have her in the beginning. Like she was more focused on her sorry, not her relationship, her
career.
career.
Yeah.
And did anybody have any thoughts on her being pregnant at the end? Like, I was like, was
I
that
thought that was so weird.
Yeah, I thought
so
it was.
weird?
It didn't unnecessary.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
well, especially as commented on the fact like, oh, it's not to replace Josie, but, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
This
But it most
is,
certainly was.
Why would you say that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was like, why is this thrown in there? Why couldn't they just be in a relationship without her being pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the baby's going to be 5 years old by the time, Josie gets out,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know.
My last question was shootings have occurred at a number of high schools across the country over the last several years. And we had one in Florida a few years ago. Did 19 minutes make you think about these incidents in a more immediate way than reading about them in the newspaper or seeing coverage on television? How so? And in what ways did the novel impact your opinion of the parties involved in school shootings?
I mean, it's at the forefront always for us teachers. We do these drills all the time, and it's super scary. Like I have thought about like in my classroom, what would I do? What would I push against the door? What scissor would I grab? Like how would I protect my students? And just having to have those thoughts. It's something that wasn't when I was a child at school. It wasn't something, in the forefront. And now it's like they do random checks, door locks, like we
Mhm.
have an officer there all the time. Like it's present, and the kids know it. It's just a different, taking away from that innocence
Yeah.
of their childhood and of their school experience that I feel like as a child I didn't have,
Yeah, we never did
those kind of thoughts.
drills. We did like earthquake drills. We never
Right,
Yeah,
had
exactly.
earthquakes here.
Yeah.
yeah,
It makes me super sad to think about that. Like that kids that you have to go through that like as a teacher and that the kids have to deal with that. Like I think about how does that affect a growing mind like subconsciously?
exactly. Like when
Yeah.
we have these drills, like there's literally a poster on my wall that's like, this is the corner where everybody's gonna go if something happens.
That's scary.
Like it's there on the wall as a daily reminder. We got to turn off all the lights and we got to go to the corner and we got to be quiet and and
I
we've
keep
been on an actual code red and we don't know what's happening and nobody tells us what's happening until 15, 20 minutes into it, even if there's something nearby. So I we've been in situations where we're freaking out, like
what
everybody's trying to communicate on the phone what's going on, trying to local media outlets. Is it happening here at the school? Is it happening somewhere nearby? It was a scary world.
what I had never thought about in the book made me think about, and I think it's because I hate them so much, are the IDs that kids have to wear. I find them so tacky. We never had to wear that, and I didn't really understand what the purpose of it was. And the fact that teachers wear them too always sounds really bizarre to me. And then reading this and the fact that they had to number the kids, I'm like,
Number
the whole ID thing came from school shootings? Like I had never thought of that.
possible. I didn't think of that
Do
either.
all the schools now have IDs?
The high school I went to does now, and they never did before.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know because I don't, you know.
I'm in elementary school. We don't have to do it. The teachers have to, but the
the
kids
teachers.
are
Yeah.
not
I've seen teachers
mandated.
haven't, yeah, not kids, but also it could be, I didn't think of that. That's a good point, Michelle. But I also thought, even though they even made a comment in the book about, well, a lot of times it's internal, but it's just to know that like that you belong on campus. So there's not people walking around like who is this? And then if they don't have an ID, they're an outsider. So like it might not stop someone who's a insider school shooter, but like it's easier to spot someone who's not supposed to be there
I mean,
necessarily.
Hmm.
Maybe.
98% of the school shootings are insiders anyways.
Mhm. It's
Right.
crazy. Sad.
It is.
I don't think it made me have empathy for the shooter. because I think I always thought it was like a kid that was going through stuff. I don't think somebody just wakes up randomly and wants to shoot up a school. But it did make me think like the adults should be doing more. Like I felt in the book, like all adults, teachers, kids, counselors, the coach, nobody helped this kid who kept asking
Did
for it.
anything.
And he asked for it a few
Yeah.
times. Like no one
Yeah.
did it.
And
And
counseling
people observed it.
services,
People saw it. The adults,
yeah.
I mean, and still.
But then,
And counseling service are very rare. There's so much need for counseling in the school system. Like we have one counselor and we share her with another school. She's in there a couple times a week. She sees a kid. If we refer a kid, it's only like 10 minutes once a week, maybe. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like
but
it's
even,
horrible.
when, Peter went to that club and saw the teacher, that he ended up shooting. I mean, that teacher, I think, was really trying to
Yeah.
help him through his,
That's right.
is he gay? Is he not?
Is he not? Yeah.
And then, he determined that he wasn't because he did feel, feelings like for Josie, but was he just so angry that the teacher thought that he might be gay that that's why he shot him? I'm not really sure on
I think
that.
maybe he was just in the way. I don't know. They didn't
You
really
think
like
so?
clarify
But no
why.
other teacher got shot.
He
There
had
was
his
no other
secret,
teacher.
maybe. He knew that he was at a gay club. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
Did you guys
And
like
Josie getting off the list of not dying, like let her live. Was that right after you think it was after the elevator
I think it was
moment?
after the elevator moment, and it was more to do with his game
yeah,
because like, he was like,
circling around.
targeting them in like for the game. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I think he had a relationship with her and he liked her, so he wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then she was like mean to him in front of people.
Yeah.
I
At one
got
point
so
he was
annoyed
like
every time.
crossed out, like circled, and
I was
then
like,
after she was
damn,
nice to him again,
defend
he was
him.
like,
That's I got so annoyed with her. Like she was so worried about the
Me
popularity
too.
that like it's one thing to not even say anything, like, okay, you don't open your mouth and tell them to stop. But then there was times that she like laughed also or like got in on it because like she
I
had
was
to
like,
just look cool.
fuck.
And it's like that's like ugh. It's one thing to not say anything to them and it's another thing to participate. I was just getting mad at her. And I
Yeah,
think I don't know if this what your guys' opinion, but at the end I was like, oh wow, I can't believe like we talked about she confessed and all that. And I don't know if it was part of her like guilt or part of her that was her way to say back like I should have stood up for you before. I don't know. Like why she
Yeah.
could have gotten away with it completely.
yeah,
And she was kind of okay telling the truth and saying it. And I didn't know the thing I thought of, and I'd love your opinions, is that was her way of like I
Yeah.
don't know, whatever the word is,
Saying
like
I didn't
being
do it
okay,
the
like
whole time, but I'm
yeah,
gonna shoot
but
him
here
now. Like,
yeah, like I'm not shooting
yeah,
you. I'll stand up for you this time. Like,
yeah.
even though I didn't do it in
I
front of
got your
anyone
back
else
this
before.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, that. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm glad he didn't shoot her. I think it was mostly because of their relationship when they were younger. I wish she would have reached out to him when he was in jail, though. Any other comments? Did you guys like the book?
I
Yes?
love Jodi Picoult. I
yeah.
think I've
Did
read almost
anybody read
all of her
Mad Honey?
books. Mad Honey, I
Yeah.
love Mad
Yeah.
Honey.
I
Another
started it, I
trial
never
book,
finished.
Yeah, and it's the
a
same
good
lawyer.
one.
Jordan is the same lawyer.
Yeah, it's the same lawyer.
Oh,
I
The
saw
really?
same thing
that.
happened at the
Um,
end of that book that it was like the
whoa,
reveal
whoa,
at the
whoa, whoa,
end
whoa,
of
whoa,
Speedy.
the
whoa, whoa.
So
no,
Do
not
not
gonna
give the
no
good.
secrets
spoilers,
off.
no spoilers.
Uh,
So
But like
good.
it's very rushed at the end again.
oh, really? So is that
Yeah.
just her style, or does she run out of
I don't
like, go back
know.
and edit it, buddy?
No.
Like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
Can we
My
take a
favorite from
photo?
her is Wish You Were Here.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love Wish You
Oh,
Were Here.
let me
it
get
might
it. Hold
take
on.
me off.
Loved it.
I want to read the
I wanted to move to
Shakespeare
the
one.
Galapagos after that.
One, two. Oh, I can't
Oh,
see.
good. Wait, wait, I'm getting.
Okay.
You coming? One, two, three.
Yes.
Jen, are you coming or do I do it again?